Well done, Ben. You're on the next level of the Rubik's Cube. So you've done level 2, level 3, part 1, part 2, and now you're on level 3, part 3. And this is called position top corners. So you should have a cube a bit like this. So you've solved the first two layers, you've done the white layer, and you've done the middle layer here. You've done the cross, and you've swapped edges where you've needed to. So now you've got green here over the green, red over the red, blue over the blue, and orange over the orange. And then you're left with the four corners. And when you get to this stage, the four corners could be in any sort of position. You might even get super lucky and have solved the cube already by complete, well, not complete fluke, but yeah, I mean, it's a bit lucky if you manage to do that, but it has happened to me before. Anyway, I'm about to teach you a move to help you to position the corners in the right place. And that means we don't care if the yellows are facing up here. We only care that the corners are in the positions that they should be. So on this edge here, we want the green and orange one. The green, orange and yellow corner there. Here we want the orange, blue and yellow corner here. The blue, red and yellow corner here. And the red, green and yellow corner here. And we have a move here that allows us to position them where we need them to be. And it's not the most elegant move. It might mean that we need to do things multiple times, but with this move we have the ability to position things as they need to be. So this is the penultimate stage, and after this, after we've positioned them where they need to be, even if the yellow isn't facing up, the final stage is to just orientate the corner cubes so that the yellow is facing up. Okay, so this move here, what will it do? Well, if we look at the cube, the yellow surface here, then if we perform this move, then it would move this corner over here, it would move this corner to this position, and this corner to this position. So three of them move at the same time, and it would keep this in the same position. So we know we're getting close to completing it when we've got one in the right position and three that aren't in the right position. So let's assess how things are. Now, we have to leave everything as it is. We can't spin this round to get things in the right position like we did a couple of steps ago. We just need to look and see if things are in the right position. So we've got one here that's in the wrong position. It's red and green. We would want orange and green there. Here we've got green and orange when we want orange and blue. Here though, we've got red and blue, and that's exactly what we want. So this one's in the right position. So that's a candidate to be the one that we keep in the right position. Let's just check the last one here. It's orange and blue where we want red and green. So let's position it so that the one we want to keep in the same position is here, and this is it. It's the red and blue one, which is in the right position. And the others we want to move around. Now we know that this is going to move there, there is going to move there. So it's like kind of an anti-clockwise rotation here. So let's see what effect that will have on our cube. Well, we've got one here, the orange and the green, so that's going to go here to the green and red. And then everything else is going to move along. And looking at it now, if we perform that rotation, it will take 2 times to get in the right position. So we're going to have to do this move here twice, and that will mean that they're all in the right position. So let's look at these moves. We've got U, R, U prime, L prime, U, R prime, U prime, and L. Now, if you forget the primes for a second, it is repeated. The moves are sort of repeated without the prime, but you've got Ural, Ural. So if you can remember that, Ural, Ural, and then you just have to remember which one's a prime. And so it's the 3rd and 4th, and the 6th and 7th is prime. And you'll get used to doing it. So look at it at first and follow the moves. You can write these down, but eventually you'll memorize it and you'll become quite fluent in it. So let's do this. Okay, so we want the red and blue one up here in the right top corner. Okay, so we're going to do these moves now. So we got U, R, U prime, L prime, U, R prime, U prime, and L. Right, so let's see where things are now. So this has stayed in the same position, the red and the blue. And now over here, these have all rotated. And we've got the orange and green here when it needs to be over here. We've got the orange and blue, that needs to be down there. But it's progressed one. And then we've got the green and red here when that needs to be over there. So if we do this one more time, then we'll solve it. So let's do it again. U, R, U prime, R, L prime, U, R prime, U prime, and L. Right, so what have we got here? That's in the right position, the red and blue, but we expected that. That hasn't moved at all. Then we've got the green and red here, the orange and green here, and then the orange and blue there. And we've even got two of them that just happen to be facing up as well. So this is set up really nicely for the final step of level 3, for part 4 of level 3. Now I'm just going to muddle it up again to show you what happens when we're faced with some different scenarios. And one of them is where none of them are in the right position. So I'm just going to stop the video and tell you how to approach that. Okay. Right, so here is another setup of the cube after we've solved level 3 part 2. We've got the cross and we've swapped the edges and we have the corners left to do, and we want to position them in the right place, and we check around and none of them are in the right place. So what we've got to do here is we've got to set one up so it is in the right place, and that can then become the candidate to put in this position the next time round and hopefully solve it. Okay, so what we do is we find out by performing this rotation of pieces what we can do to get one in the right place. And this one here, this red and blue, we know that that will end up in this corner here. And this is the red and blue corner. So if we do this rotation here, then this cube will end up in the right position. So let's do that. Okay, so we're going to do these moves here again. We'll do up, right, U prime, L prime, U, R prime, U prime, and L. And we look, and the red and blue is in the red and blue corner. So that's going to become our candidate to preserve. So let's look at the other ones here. We've got the orange and green here, and we need that to be moved over here. We've got the orange and blue there. We need that to be moved there. And then we've got the last one left, the red and green, and we need that to be over here, the red and green side. So this one rotation here is going to get everything in the right position. So let's do it. So we hold it like that. This is the one that's going to stay where it was. We do U, R, U prime, L, L prime, U, R prime, U prime, and L. And let's inspect it here. Everything is in the right position. And then we're ready for the last level. So have a go at that. You might meet some other scenarios, but just try and think, if you do like have it so that you can't do it all in one go, then just go ahead and try it, and you might find yourself in a position where you can solve it in 1 or 2 other goes. But have a go at that and just play with it. Just do these moves repeatedly, see what happens, and hopefully you can learn how to position the top corners, and we can be ready for the last video.